Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to do something different. We are not just going to talk about English or motivation. We are going to perform a total system update on your mindset.
Have you ever felt like your own brain is your worst enemy? Like you wake up and before you even get out of bed, the negative thoughts are already there?
You try to smile, you try to act like you have it all together, but deep down you feel drained, stuck, and totally overwhelmed. If that sounds like your daily life, you are in the right place.
Think of your mind as a high-tech operating system. If you keep running old, buggy software like doubt, fear, and constant stress, your life is going to crash. But today, we're going to install a new version. This video is about taking full control of your thoughts, step by step. I want you to stop being the victim of your own mind and start becoming the architect of your future. Because here is the raw truth. Your mind is like a garden. Every single thought you have is a seed. If you keep watering seeds of worry and stress, that is exactly what will grow in your life. But if you start planting seeds of strength, gratitude, and clear purpose, your life will change in ways you cannot even imagine yet. In this video, I am going to share 10 powerful rules that high achievers follow every single day. These are not just nice quotes you find on a poster. These are mental tools that helped me, helped thousands of others, and they will absolutely work for you. And the best part? This is the best way to level up your English. You are not just learning vocabulary. You are learning how to speak, think, and feel like a person who is truly in command of their destiny. So stay with me until the very end. Your brain is listening, your future is calling, and it is time to answer. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a chance to sharpen your mindset and your language skills. Let us get started with rule number 1. Rule 1. Your thoughts shape your reality. Let us get straight to the point. You do not see the world as it actually is. You see the world exactly as you are. Imagine you are wearing a pair of sunglasses. If the lenses are tinted with fear, everything you look at will seem dangerous. If your lenses are tinted with doubt, every new opportunity will look like an impossible challenge. But if you switch those lenses for clarity and strength, you will find a path forward, even when everyone else sees a dead end. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people, let us call them Sarah and Mark, waking up on a cold, rainy morning in a small town like Brighton Valley. Sarah looks out the window, sighs, and says, "Ugh, this day is totally ruined. I am just going to have a terrible time." Mark, on the other hand, looks at the same rain and says, "Rain means growth. It is a perfect day to stay calm, focus on my goals, and make today count." Same weather, same city, completely different worlds. Why? Because their thoughts created their reality. If every morning you tell yourself, "I am so tired, I am unlucky, life is just too hard," you are literally building a mental prison for yourself. But if you wake up and say, "I am getting better, I am learning, I am still standing," you are building a mental fortress. Positive thinking is not about lying to yourself or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about choosing the thoughts that make you stronger. You will never be able to escape the problems in your life until you first escape the negative patterns in your brain. People are always waiting for better days to arrive, but better days do not fall from the sky. They are built through better thinking. Modern science actually backs this up. Your brain creates neural pathways. Every time you repeat a negative thought, that road in your brain gets deeper and wider. But the moment you interrupt that cycle and say, "No, I choose a better thought today," you are physically building a new road in your brain. This is not just motivation. This is mental training. Here is how to apply it. Every single morning, write down 3 things you want to believe, even if they do not feel true yet. Say things like, I am capable of amazing things. I am calm. I am strong. Today is a brand new start. And do not just whisper it, say it out loud with power. Do this for 21 days straight, and I promise you, your mindset will shift and your world will follow. Rule 2. Focus on what you can control. Most people are perpetually stressed, not because of the actual events in their lives, but because they are exhausting themselves trying to micromanage things that are completely out of their hands. Think of it like trying to hold back the ocean tide with a plastic bucket. It is impossible, and frankly, it is a waste of your precious energy. When you obsess over things you cannot influence, you lose your grip on the only things you actually own: your mindset, your words, and your daily actions. What falls into that category of unchangeable chaos? It is the opinions of others, the mistakes of your past, the unpredictability of the future, traffic jams, the weather, or even random bad luck. When you try to force the world to be fair or force people to understand you, you are setting yourself up for constant disappointment. You cannot control the world, but you can absolutely control how you show up in it. Consider this. 2 people, let us call them David and Elena, both get rejected for a promotion at their office. David spends his evening complaining, calling the system broken, and wallowing in a victim mentality. He is trying to control the company's decision, which he cannot change. Elena, however, takes a deep breath, acknowledges the setback, and asks herself, what skill can I sharpen to be ready for the next opportunity? She focuses entirely on her own growth. The situation was the same, but the outcome for their mental health was worlds apart. David stayed stuck in the mud, while Elena grew stronger. Whenever you feel that familiar spike of anxiety or anger, stop and ask yourself the golden question: is this within my control? If the answer is yes, then take action immediately. If the answer is no, then you have to let it go. If someone is rude to you, you cannot force them to be polite, but you can control your boundaries and choose not to let their toxicity ruin your mood. If your day starts with a massive headache, you cannot change the morning, but you can decide exactly how you handle the next hour. Here is a practical exercise for your evening routine. Grab a notebook and draw 2 columns. On one side, write down everything you tried to control today. On the other, list what you actually had power over. Be brutally honest with yourself. Did you waste 3 hours worrying about what a coworker thought of you? That is energy you could have used to level up your own skills. When you stop fighting the storm, you finally have the peace of mind to build a sturdy boat. You do not need to win every argument or fix every problem. You just need to protect your inner calm like it is your most valuable treasure. Focus on your vision, your habits, and your energy. Let everything else move on without you. Rule 3. Surround yourself with positive people. Here is a hard truth. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. It is not just about their habits, it is about their mindset, their vocabulary, and the energy they bring into a room. Think of your life as a dinner party. You get to choose who sits at your table. If you invite people who only focus on gossip, complaints, and small-minded drama, that is exactly what is going to be on your plate. Ask yourself, do the people in your circle lift you up or drain your battery? When you share a dream with them, do they offer encouragement or do they find a reason for you to give up? Most people never reach their true potential, not because they lack talent, but because they are stuck in low-energy environments. Imagine you are trying to learn a new language, like English, and your friends keep telling you that you are wasting your time or that it is too hard. Do you think you will stay motivated? Of course not. The human brain is social by design. It naturally copies the behaviors and attitudes of the people it sees every single day. You need to protect your social circle like it is a fortress. There are 3 types of people you should seriously reconsider keeping around. First, the chronic complainers. Nothing is ever good enough for them, and they will pull you down into their puddle of negativity. Second, the judges. They criticize your progress because they are too afraid to start their own journey. And third, the energy thieves. You walk away from a conversation with them feeling smaller, exhausted, and less confident than you were before. Instead, start surrounding yourself with people who talk about goals, who value growth, and who celebrate your wins as if they were their own. They are the ones who remind you of your worth when you forget it. Now, what if you do not have those people in your life right now? Then be that person for yourself. Become your own biggest supporter. As you start changing your energy, you will find that the right people naturally start gravitating toward you. Make it a habit to audit your circle once a month. Ask yourself, who makes me feel stronger? Who makes me question my path? Who is just there for the drama? Then set your boundaries. You do not need to start a fight or make a scene. You just need to create a little distance. You are not better than them, but you are building a different future, and not everyone is meant to come along for the ride. You are creating a mental environment every single day, and in that environment, only 2 things can grow: your power or your pain. Choose your people with the same wisdom you use to choose your thoughts. Rule 4. Turn challenges into opportunities. A positive thinker is not someone who lives in a bubble where nothing ever goes wrong. Life is messy, and challenges are inevitable. The real difference is that a positive thinker knows how to take a difficult situation and flip it into fuel. Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect, easy moment to arrive. But here is the cold, hard truth. Life does not actually get easier. Instead, you get stronger. Think of it this way. Fire does not destroy gold, it purifies it. Pressure does not break a diamond, it creates it. Resistance in the gym does not weaken your muscles, it makes them grow. So why do we treat discomfort as a signal to quit? When you face a setback, do not view it as a roadblock. View it as a training session. Every time life throws a curveball at you, it is testing your resolve and preparing you for something bigger. Let us look at a student named Liam who fails a major certification exam. Most people in his position would fall into a spiral of self-doubt, thinking they are just not smart enough. But someone with a growth mindset like Liam looks at that failure as data. He asks, what did I miss? Where was my strategy weak? How can I adjust my approach to win next time? By treating the failure as feedback rather than a final verdict, he returns to the test with more wisdom and grit. When he finally passes, that victory is 10 times sweeter because it was earned through struggle, not just handed to him on a silver platter. Whenever you hit a wall, pause. Do not just react with frustration. Ask yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? What new skill am I being forced to develop right now? Maybe a heartbreak is teaching you the value of your own boundaries. Maybe losing a job is the push you needed to start that business you have been dreaming about. Maybe a period of loneliness is the time you need to reconnect with your own soul. Write this down if you have to. Pain is not the enemy, but avoiding growth certainly is. When things go sideways, try saying, good. If you lose money, say, good. Now I will learn to be smarter with my finances. If you feel betrayed, say, good. Now I know exactly who I can trust. When you train your brain to reframe every negative event, you become mentally bulletproof. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your own comeback. Remember, life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. If you can find the purpose in your pain, you become absolutely unstoppable. Rule 5. Smile more often. Most people treat a smile like a reward. They wait until something great happens to show it. But here is the secret that mentally tough people understand. Smiling is not a reaction to your environment. It is a strategic decision. It is a command you give to your body and your brain that says, I am in charge here. When you force a smile, even when you are having a rough day, your brain actually starts to release feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. It is a biological hack. You are literally tricking your nervous system into lowering stress and anxiety. Think about the last time you walked into a room. You saw two people, one with a slumped posture and a serious, closed-off face, and another with a calm, open, and genuine smile. Who do you instinctively trust more? Who looks like they have their life together? The one who is waiting for happiness to find them, or the one who is choosing to project it? Smiling gives you an immediate emotional advantage. It makes you more approachable, more confident, and it trains your mind to scan for the light rather than the darkness. You should practice this everywhere. Smile at yourself in the mirror first thing in the morning. Smile when you feel a wave of anxiety before a big meeting or a phone call. Smile while you are practicing your English or working on a tough project. People often ask me, won't I look fake if I smile when I'm actually feeling down? And the answer is no. You are not pretending that everything is perfect. You are reminding your brain that you are strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. You are not ignoring your emotions. You are guiding them. And there is a bonus for those of you working on your communication skills. When you speak with a smile, your voice physically changes. It becomes warmer, clearer, and much more trustworthy. Great leaders and world-class speakers know this trick well. They smile even when they are discussing serious topics because it keeps the connection alive. So do not wait for a reason to smile. Be the reason. In a world that is often loud, stressful, and chaotic, a calm, steady smile is the mark of someone who is winning on the inside. It is free, it is powerful, and it is the fastest way to break the cycle of overthinking. Try it today and watch how people and your own brain respond to you differently. Rule 6. Expect the best. Here is the thing about being realistic. Most people use that word as an excuse to lower their standards. They think expecting the worst is being smart, but in reality, it is just a toxic habit that sabotages your progress. When you walk into a situation expecting to fail, you naturally put in less effort, you speak with less confidence, and you subconsciously block the very opportunities you say you want. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, I want you to flip the script. When you expect success, even if things do not go perfectly, you show up with a different kind of energy. You are bolder, you are more resilient, and you are far more likely to pivot when things get tough. There is a huge difference between a thought, a belief, and an expectation. A thought is just a fleeting idea. A belief is something you repeat until it feels true. But an expectation? That is the hidden engine that drives your behavior before you even realize it. Think about your journey with English. If you tell yourself, maybe I will get better, you will watch a few videos but never actually speak. If you believe, I can improve, you will practice sometimes. But if you walk around with the rock-solid expectation that I will become fluent, then you will show up every single day. You will embrace the mistakes, and you will keep going, because your mind is already living in the result. Let me tell you about a student named Chloe. She failed her exams 3 times and felt like she was hitting a brick wall. People told her to give up, and for a while she actually did. But then she started a simple habit. Every night she wrote in her journal, I do not know how, but I know something good is coming my way. She stopped listening to the doubters and started acting like her success was inevitable. A year later, she passed her exams, and 2 years after that, she landed her dream career. She did not have a roadmap, but she had an expectation, and that was enough to keep her moving. You might be thinking, but what if I get disappointed? Look, disappointment is a part of life, but do you know what is worse? The regret of never trying because you were too afraid to expect anything good. A positive thinker expects the best, but prepares for every possibility. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. So here is your daily drill. Every morning, look in the mirror and say, "Today, something good can happen. I am open, I am ready, and I am aligned with my goals." Then ask yourself, if I knew for a fact that I would succeed today, how would I carry myself? How would I speak? How would I prepare? Then go out and live exactly like that. Move like the universe is on your side, because more often than not, it is. Stop expecting delays, stop expecting pain, and stop expecting the worst. You have survived enough to know that you are capable. Now, start expecting your own growth. When you change your expectation, you change your entire direction. Rule 7. Stay present and mindful. Most of us are living our lives in a constant state of mental time travel. We spend our mornings replaying past regrets and our evenings worrying about future problems, all while completely ignoring the only moment that actually exists, right now. This is exactly why your mind feels like a browser with 50 tabs open, all of them frozen. You feel mentally exhausted because you are trying to live in 3 different timelines at once. But here is the truth. The present moment is the only place where life actually happens. Everything else is just a memory or a wild guess. If you want true peace and genuine clarity, you have to master the art of returning to the now. Now is not a number on a clock or a date on a calendar. It is the space between your thoughts where you are simply breathing, observing, and existing. When you are fully present, you eat slower, you listen deeper, you speak with more intention, and you make decisions that actually serve you rather than just reacting to your anxiety. Think about it. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone, but your mind was stuck on a mistake you made yesterday? You were there physically, but mentally you were miles away. You missed their tone, you misinterpreted their words, and you probably felt anxious without even knowing why. That is the cost of living in the past. Now imagine if you were fully there, looking into their eyes, hearing every word, and responding with complete clarity. That is the power of being present. Some of you might say, but what about my problems? I cannot just ignore my bills or my responsibilities. And you are right, but worrying about them for the 10th time today does not fix them. You are not solving the future by stressing about it. You are just stealing your peace in the present. Positive thinkers are not careless. They are just protective of their attention. They know they can learn from yesterday and prepare for tomorrow, but they choose to live in this breath, in this hour, in this step. So, how do you ground yourself? Use your senses. Right now, what can you see, hear, or feel? Take 3 slow, deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel the air filling your lungs. It is a simple reset button for your nervous system. Next time you are walking, put your phone away. Just notice your feet hitting the ground, the wind on your face, the light around you. That is real life. You will miss the beauty of your own existence if you are always waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. This moment, right here, is the only one that is real. If you cannot find peace here, you will not find it anywhere else. Stay present, not because life is perfect, but because it is happening right now, and you owe it to yourself to actually be there for it. Rule 8. Practice gratitude like a daily ritual. The fastest way to flip the script on a bad mood or a stagnant mindset is to stop obsessing over what you lack and start acknowledging what you already have. This is gratitude. And let us be clear, this is not some soft, airy-fairy advice. It is a strategic discipline. It is the mental equivalent of hitting the refresh button on your brain. Most of the time, your mind is hardwired to act like a security guard. It is constantly scanning for threats, problems, and what could go wrong. That is great for survival, but it is terrible for your happiness because it keeps you stuck in a cycle of thinking you are behind or that nothing is working. Gratitude is the tool you use to override that default setting. When you consciously practice being thankful, you are essentially telling your brain, stop for a second, look around, there is actually good here. And the more you look, the more you find. It is a snowball effect. Imagine two people lose a job on the same Tuesday. One person spirals, thinking, this is the end, I am a failure, why is this always happening to me? The other person says, okay, I lost the role, but I still have my skills, my health, and a network of people who support me. Maybe this is the push I needed to find something better. The situation is identical, but their focus is miles apart. One is trapped in darkness. The other is using gratitude as a flashlight to find the next door. This is not about faking a smile or ignoring your pain. You can be going through a tough season and still find something to be grateful for. That is not fake positivity. That is genuine resilience. It is the ability to say, I see my struggle, but I refuse to let it blind me to the good that is still standing. Here is how you make this a ritual. First, the morning 3. Before you even touch your phone to check emails or social media, write down 3 things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as having a roof over your head, the coffee in your hand, or the fact that you get another chance today. Second, the gratitude breath. Whenever you feel that familiar weight of overwhelm, pause, take a deep breath, and say one thing you are thankful for out loud. It grounds you immediately. And third, express it to others. When you thank someone or appreciate them, that positive energy doesn't just help them, it reinforces your own mindset. Gratitude doesn't magically erase your problems, but it reminds you that you are much bigger than any problem you are facing. It reconnects you with peace, silences the fear, and strengthens your spirit. So make it a daily habit. Your heart is still beating, and that means your story is not over yet. Rule 9. Master the art of letting go. This is arguably the most difficult rule to master, but it is also the most liberating. Letting go is not an act of weakness or surrender. It is a display of extreme wisdom. You have to realize that not every memory, every person, or every past mistake deserves a permanent residence in your mind. Your brain is like a living space, and if you keep it cluttered with old resentment, regrets, and what-ifs, there is simply no room left for peace, joy, or the progress you are trying to make. Imagine you are walking through life carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a bitter argument, a past failure, or a moment where you were treated unfairly. You want to run toward your goals, but that bag is literally dragging you down. Letting go does not mean you pretend those things never happened. It means you stop carrying the weight of them. You look at the stone, acknowledge the lesson it taught you, and then you drop it. You decide that your future is worth more than your history. Most people struggle to let go because they think they need to find closure or get an apology that they will probably never receive. But real closure is something you give to yourself. It is the moment you decide, I am done bleeding for a wound that happened years ago. Acceptance does not mean you approve of what happened. It just means you are finished fighting against reality. You stop asking why they did it or how your life would be different if you had made another choice. Instead, you start asking, Who am I becoming now? What is the next chapter I am writing? You can practice this in 3 specific areas. First, with people. If someone consistently brings toxicity or disrespect into your life, give yourself permission to create distance, quietly and without drama. Second, with memories. If you find yourself obsessively replaying a painful moment, write it down on a piece of paper, read it, and then burn it or tear it up. It is a physical signal to your brain that you are officially closing that file. And third, with yourself. Stop being your own harshest judge. You were doing the best you could with the knowledge and the level of maturity you had at the time. Forgive your past self so your present self can finally breathe. Letting go is not about your pain being small or unimportant. It is about your future being significantly bigger than your past. You are not your scars, and you are definitely not your story of struggle. You are the one who survived, the one who is still here, and the one who is still growing. So take a deep breath right now and say it out loud. I let go. I release the weight. I choose peace. Rule 10. Believe that good things are coming. This is the final, most vital piece of the puzzle. It is the quiet, unshakable faith that your best days are not behind you. They are waiting for you around the corner. Even when you are standing in the middle of a storm, you have to nurture that small light of belief. Many people stop believing because life has been tough. They have been disappointed, hurt, or pushed back so many times that they build a wall around their hearts. They tell themselves, maybe happiness just isn't in the cards for me. Maybe this is as good as it gets. But that is a lie. It is not your fault that you feel tired, but it is your responsibility to pick yourself up and start believing again, because belief is the fuel that moves your future forward. When you operate from a place of belief, you wake up with intent. You try one more time, you smile more easily, and you start noticing the doors that are actually open instead of staring at the ones that have been locked. Without belief, everything feels like a heavy chore. With it, even the struggle becomes manageable. Think about those who have rebuilt their lives after total bankruptcy, those who found love again later in life, or those who started learning something completely new at 60 and became experts. They all had one thing in common. They kept a small flame of hope alive when everyone else told them to put it out. They kept saying, I do not know how it will happen, but I know that something beautiful is on its way. Start small. You do not need to believe in a massive miracle overnight. Just believe that tomorrow can be 1% lighter than today. Believe that the right people will find you, that your health will improve, and that your efforts will eventually pay off. Every time your brain tries to tell you that it is too late, answer back with, no, I am just getting started. Every time your brain tells you that you have failed too much, reply with, I have just learned too much to quit now. Here is a simple daily practice to build this muscle. Spend 2 minutes every night in a future journal. Write in the present tense, I am calm, I am growing, and I am attracting the right opportunities. Combine this with visualization. Before you fall asleep, imagine a moment of success or peace. Feel the emotion of it. Your subconscious mind will start to accept this as your reality and will naturally begin pulling you toward it. Even in the dead of winter, the trees know that spring is coming. Even when the sky is pitch black, the sun is still there, waiting. Your future is not lost, even if your heart feels a little weary right now. So say it out loud. I am still here, and that means something beautiful is still on the way. I choose to believe, not because life is easy, but because I have come too far to stop now. You are not broken. You are in the middle of a powerful transformation. I believe in your comeback, and you should too. Before you go, I want to leave you with this final thought. You are not broken, and you are definitely not behind. You are in the middle of a massive upgrade, building something special, step by step, day by day. You are not just dealing with bad luck, you are learning how to handle the weight of your future blessings. You are not done, you are very much in progress. And if nobody has told you this today, let me be the one to say it. I believe in your comeback. I believe in your story, your strength, and the incredible potential sitting right inside you. Something beautiful is coming your way, but you have to keep showing up. Don't give up. Don't go silent when your soul needs your voice the most. And don't settle for anything less than the version of you that you know you can become. This world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs you, awake, alive, healing, and rising. So go back to your life with a stronger mind and a much bigger heart. Return to yourself with more love than ever before, and say this one last time. I will think better. I will feel better. I will speak better. And I will become someone I am truly proud of, because I deserve it, and I am ready right now. If this video touched your heart, or if even one of these rules helped you shift your mindset, please hit that subscribe button. This channel isn't about just watching content. It's about real transformation, and we are just getting started. I have new videos coming every week to guide your thoughts, sharpen your English, and help you awaken your inner power. Like the video, drop a comment below letting me know which rule you are going to master first, and share this with someone who needs a wake-up call today. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep believing, keep building, and never forget, your best days are not behind you. They are waiting for you to meet them, and you are exactly on time.